What's up, everybody? Welcome to Narco Cop MMA, and I'm doing a show here for Oktagon 65. No UFC this week, so we have to find something. I couldn't just not do a show this week. I did all the tape on this. There's 10 fights. There's some actually really good fights on this card. Ending it with the main event, Keta versus Paradiser. What a banger that fight is. But yeah, I'm just gonna go over a couple of my bets. Who I think probably has value and doesn't have value. I mean, a lot of people are asking me which books actually have lines. That I know of right now, it's only Bet365, it's Bovada, and it's Bet Online. That's it. I don't think any other book has lines yet. I do think maybe DK might get it later on, closer to fight time. This card is not until Sunday, so they probably get it. I think I'm assuming sometime maybe Saturday. I would say they probably get some lines here, but who knows? Also, I think Betway has it as well. As I'm looking here on Fight Odds, Betway as well has it. So yeah, I mean, I think those are the only books really: Bet Online, Bovada, Betway, and Bet365. 51 of you already in here. Appreciate you guys. Elijah One says Oktagon tonight. No, Sunday. It's Sunday. Rusty, what's up, my man? Thank you for joining. Dixon, how are you doing, my friend? Kyle, let's go. Thank you, Ice Viking. Appreciate you as well. Units are always flying, no matter if the UFC. You better believe it. All right. You know what? I'm going to share my screen here and kind of go over what we have for this card, break it down really quick. I don't want to be too long, but I can share my screen here and let's see if you guys. All right, there it is. All right. Let's start out here. First fight here. It's Marco Novic, sorry, versus Emil Corella, right? And as you can see here, Novic 5-1. Norhella is 7-2. And when you look at this fight here, Novic is a guy that's previously fought in Oktagon. Last time out, he fought Radek Ruzel, which was a really good win. He used a lot of his grappling. Normally Novic is a stand-up guy, but he grappled quite a bit here. And it was a smart game plan against Radek because Radek has very good kickboxing, a lot of power in his hands. So he didn't really want to stand with this guy. So he used a good game plan, took him down a bunch and won that fight. He also beat this undefeated guy who's now 5-2. Not probably the best win. Michael Conrad's an Oktagon or a KSW veteran. Is he an Oktagon guy? Yeah, he's an Oktagon guy. He's a veteran, kind of like a gatekeeper kind of guy, and he finished him there. This Ilbay loss is not that bad, man. Dennis Ilbay, very good on the feet. As a boxing background, if you see, like, he finishes a lot of these people. The only guy to beat him is this Corey Fry by submission, but there's a back and forth fight in that fight, Ilbay, and Ilbay eventually finished him in round 3. You could see that he has a kickboxing Muay Thai background. He has some fights there, a lot of exhibition fights in Oktagon. I think this was some kind of tournament. And then obviously in his amateur career wasn't that good. His opponent, Emil, I mean, he does have a decent amount of fights, 9 pro fights, but no shame in losing to Holzer. I mean, Holzer is a beast, very, very good grappler. So there's no shame in that. Aguirre's pretty much a bum on Cage. That's the thing. This Cage that's in Finland, it's just not a very good fucking promotion. It's a bad promotion. This Payman fight, he didn't look very good. He was getting taken down in that fight. Yurakowski, kind of a bad loss, to be honest. He was getting clipped. He won round 1 and then just got absolutely destroyed in round 2. Got put on the back foot, got hurt on the feet, then eventually got dropped and got subbed. You know, his wins are just not very good, man. He hasn't faced anybody. And now he faces a guy in Novic who's a good fighter, man. I think he's a really good fighter. I think he is the much better fighter of the two. He's faced better level of opposition. He's got better wins. And honestly, he's sitting right now. Let's see. Let me share my other screen here real quick. Let's share this odd screen here. And you could see here, you know, he's a minus 170 on Bet Online. The line has obviously jumped up and down. He's a plus 130. I wish I got that. Obviously, he went to 115, then jumped up again to plus 100, and now he's been steamed. He went as high as minus 230, now back down to 170. I think he's the rightful favorite. You can still get this line, I believe, on Bet365. Yeah, Bet365, you're looking at minus 150. I think it's fine, honestly. And maybe put him in a little parlay. I don't mind it. I think he should be the favorite. I think he's the better fighter. I think he has the better wins. And this Corella guy, whatever, he likes to stand up, but his defense is awful, man. He gets clipped a lot on the feet. So I don't think this guy is anywhere near Novic's level, to be honest. So I think Novic should run it here. Maybe possibly he could possibly use grappling as well, but I think just stay on the feet with this guy. This guy has very bad defense. I think Novic is honestly better everywhere. You got to Moise. You got to see this other guy. His cardio's terrible. He in round 2, Corella, in that fight that he got finished by that Polish guy or whatever, he looked fucking death gassed, man. His cardio's awful, this Corella guy. So I don't think it's a problem, even if he grapples, man. This guy is not very good. And you could see from his record, look, he's never been to round 3, man. This guy's never been to round 3. It's awful fucking cardio on him, too. So I think Novic has the better cardio. Novic's been 3 rounds multiple times. So I think he has the much better cardio. You think it's a 50-50 fight? I don't think so, man. Honestly, I think Novic's way better, got the much better wins. I think Novic's probably going to finish him, either KO or submission. That's how I see it. I think there's value on 150, to be honest. I think it should be slightly higher. Let's move on here. Fight 2. Jacob Felski versus Dominic Toporser. This is a crazy announced fight because these guys both just fought a week ago. Look at Jacob. Jacob fought. It was a different type of. It wasn't a. I'm sorry. No, this is not the fight I'm talking about. Sorry. This is a later fight I'm going to talk about where both fighters actually fought a week ago. But Jacob, very impressive win against PK. I don't know if he won that fight. I'll be honest with you. PK grappled him a lot. I do think he won round 1 pretty convincingly, Jacob, but round 2 and 3, man, he was on his back for a long time and possibly lost that fight, to be honest. It was close. He landed obviously better on the feet, but on the ground, he got taken down very easily. That's his one issue. Like, he's very young, right? Jacob's very young. He's 22 years old. The one thing I will tell you is he's training with Ludovic Klein now, and the transformation in his body almost tells me that something's going on. Like, I know he's young and he's going to supposedly, but he's put on a lot of muscle. Just go back. I want you guys to go back and look at the fight against Sammy Zarabi, where he had absolutely zero muscle on his body. He looked like a twig. And that was 10 months ago. And then go look at the PK fight where he's added like probably 10 pounds of muscle. And I don't know. It looks funny. It looks funny to me. But I mean, it's a good win against PK. PK was undefeated. Had I want to say he had a good win or two as well. Yeah, I mean, not the best ones. Wasi's a pretty good win in Brave, but um, that was a pretty good win. Zarabi, obviously, it wasn't the best loss, but Zarabi grappled him as well. That's the one thing, big kink in his armors is Jacob can get taken down. He goes for a lot of front chokes, Darcis, stuff like that, and he ends up on his back. But he's a big guy for 45. He's tall, lengthy. He puts in those chokes, and his opponent, this Dominic guy, I don't think he's any good, to be honest. He lost to this guy that's 7-7, and not very good. He lost to this Bruckner guy, just got out grappled easily. And that's the thing. Like, this guy is fighting at 135 his whole career, right? Now he's stepping up to fight a big 45er in Jacob. And Jacob is a favorite. He's minus, let's see here. What I think he's the lines have ballooned. Yeah, minus 355, minus 385. But you can get him on Bet365 at minus 275. I think he's fine here. I think you can add him to a parlay piece. He's the hometown guy. They want this guy to win. He's young. He trains with Ludovic Klein, like I said. And this other guy from Slovak, he just undersized, not very good. I don't even know what he's good at. His striking is not very good. His grappling is not very good. Yeah, I think he could probably get hurt on the feet. Obviously, Jacob, like I said, his takedown defense is not very good. But I think he's just a better fighter all around, bigger, in a better camp with Ludovic Klein. Obviously he's going to get better. He's young. Both guys are super young. I think this other dude he's 21 as well. So they're both super young. It's just that one guy looks a little bit better here and has faced much better competition as well. So I think he's a rightful favorite. You could add him, honestly, to parlays. I think he's fine. Like, I wouldn't trust him 100% because his grappling is not the best, but he's going to be much bigger than Dominic. And I think he's physically getting stronger, looks like, and he should win here, honestly. Narco, you mean he has the same doctor? Yeah, he probably has the same doctor, honestly. I just took minus 150. That's very good value. 115 on Novak. All right. Pick him? Yeah. I think very, very good value there. Moise says Toporker fought Jacob's teammate Matt Martinick. Clear setup. It's definitely a setup. Yeah. Clear setup, in my opinion. Wish Australia had props for this. Yeah, there's no props that I could see anywhere. Not seeing the lines on 365. I think it's state to state for whatever reason, man. It really, I don't know what's going on, but there should be lines. I'm looking at them right here on Bet365, and there's lines. I think let's see here. Yeah, there's lines on every single fight. So even the ones that are like late notice replacements, there's lines on them. So you should see something on Bet365, honestly. Anyways, let's move on here. Fight 3. It is, this is the fight I'm talking about, short notice. Okay. Peter Gable versus Benny Badrami, right? Look at this shit. Peter Gable fought a custom rules fight or modified rules boxing fight. Look at this. December 20th, guys. 7 days ago. They're fighting in 2 days. He just fought at 170 pounds in a kickboxing fight, right? And he just absolutely destroyed the guy, apparently, in round 1. Then, not even like a month before that, he fought and got a body kick KO against this Georgie guy who was not very good. And his lone loss, not his lone loss, but his last loss against Hafani Nafuka, who was a grappler, is a very relentless type of grappler. He's going to keep going for takedowns. Round 1, he did well. He was actually on top. Round 2, he got on top and then got reversed. And then it was over for him. Like, he just got mauled in the grappling, on bottom. The Signac fight, like, Signac is not a bad fighter, honestly. He won the first 2 rounds. I think he lost round 3. And Signac is not a bad fighter, honestly. If you see, he lost to Stannis by decision, and then he lost his majority decision to Gable. So, he's not an awful fighter. Stand up, he's long. He looks pretty good striker. So it is what it is. He won that by majority decision. Lloyd Manning, it was a round 2 submission. I don't know why they have round 1. And then he has these losses to Karata, who's not the best fighter, 5-4. I don't know. I wasn't impressed with that loss, but that was 3 years ago. And then Roman Polis, he's a pretty good fighter, lost that as well. He did have kind of a layoff here, like almost a year here. And then now he's coming back. He got that body kick KO. He's still young, 25 years old. The thing with this fight is it's being fought at welterweight, right? 170 pounds. And Benny Badrami, who is 5-2, right? Also a young guy, 23, is a featherweight. He's fighting at 170. But look, he's fighting at 48. Fought at 45 here. And now he's fighting at 70. This fight here, Dino, he won this fight. The other guy had an injury at the end of round 2, didn't come out for round 3. He won this fight. But look when it was, guys. December 21st. 6 days ago, this guy fought. So both of these guys fought less than 10 days ago, both of them, which is insane. And now they're fighting on this card against each other at 170, though. I think this is a setup fight for Gable, honestly. This guy, Benny, I'm watching his tape, and he runs away from his opponents. It's hilarious. He ran away in this Dino fight a couple of times. There's a bunch of back and forth scrambling and grappling in that fight. Both guys kind of looked awful. This other one, he absolutely quit against Sammy. Like, he got hit a couple of times. He ran away a couple of times. Then he quit. He just got finished and quit. I just feel like it's a setup spot for Gable, honestly. He is a Czech guy. It's clearly the guy they want to win. His losses are not the best, but he's also been in Oktagon. He's fought, 4 times now in Oktagon. This is going to be his 5th fight. They clearly want him to win. Line's now at minus, what is it? What am I looking at here? Is there even a line on this fight? There's no line on this fight on Bet Online, it looks like. But there is a line on this fight on Bet365. And I think it's at, let's see here. Bet365 has this fight at minus 320, Peter Gable. I kind of feel like it's right. It's a setup fight. I think he wins here. I don't even know why they made this fight so late, but the only thing that comes to mind is they want this Gable guy to get an easy win. And I don't know. His opponent looks awful to me. We're going to talk about Aslander. What else do we got here? Gable minus 320. Yeah, I think he's gonna win pretty easily here. All right, let's move on. Fight number 4. Yeah, Jakub Shota versus Ozan Aslaner. This is one of my plays, actually. I gave out Aslaner at plus 350 for a unit. And I kind of mentioned, like, I really don't get this line. I don't get why Teixeira is minus 500 in some places, minus 410, minus 425. I really don't get it. I'm watching this guy, and He has a lengthy amateur background. Fine, he's a good fighter. In his background in the amateurs, good fighter. Went 3 rounds against Conrad and whatever. He got the rear naked choke, but Conrad's a gatekeeper, not a really good fighter. Beat this Dennis Strapansky guy who was 5-4-1. That's nothing. Beat this Dimitrov guy who's awful. 4-7 guy. Who cares? And this is the guy we just talked about, David Corella. He's not a great fighter, man. 5-4 fighter. And he won by decision there. Okay. This Janae Alon Kuluma guy, this was an awful look for him, honestly. He won by decision, got reversed multiple times in this fight. This Janine guy had a couple of submissions on him. They don't look really good in that fight at all. And this guy is not a good fighter, this Kuluma, whatever guy. Senekadze is a decent fight. He looked good because I think Mate is a good fighter. It was 5 rounds. You can see it's a 5-round fight. And he lost a split decision. It was close. Got absolutely murdered for 4 rounds against Keta. Like, okay, there's no shame in losing that fight. Absolutely not. But he got absolutely murdered in that fight against Keta. And, this guy has, first of all, on the feet, he's just getting absolutely killed. He's got no defense on the feet whatsoever. Gets hurt in almost every single fight, even in the ones he wins. Just a terrible look on the feet with this guy. And I don't think his grappling is all that. That's the problem. Like, I don't think he's that good of a grappler. This guy's background is kickboxing. He's got all types of like kickboxing awards in his background. Moise says he's a judoka. Yeah, but I think his main thing is kickboxing. Like, that's all of his thing. If you look at his Instagram, he's got awards, stuff like that. It's all kickboxing. And, at the problem for Aslan, right? Okay, here, look, this fight is at 55. And if you look, this guy is primarily fought at 45. He's too small. Jacob's too small for 55, in my opinion. And if you look at Aslaner, he is, what does it say? 8-5-1, but it's very, very deceiving, his record. That's my thing. Like, he's 8-5-1, right? But the record doesn't tell really. Like, okay, this Matthias Kuznak fight, it was kind of a back and forth fight, man. Look at it. He missed weight by 9 pounds in that fight. And he talked about how it was a botched weight cut. I listened to his interview. Just a horrible weight cut. And he went into the fight, though, he said, on fight day, and it felt good. And he was looking good. And then his knee popped on a takedown. Like, absolutely just dislocated. And he's been gone for 2 years. And I think that's part of why the line is where it's at. It's because this guy has been gone for 2 years. He hasn't fought, right? Bad knee injury. But he also said in his interview, he's been back and he's been wanting to fight for almost a year now. And no one has been willing to fight him. He's gotten 10 or 12 fighters to pull out of fights against him, where he accepted the fight, not on contract, but he accepted the fight. And then the other fighter said, nope, we don't want to take this fight. And honestly, I understand, because this guy's kind of like long. He can fight. Very weird thing about this guy, what I saw on tape, is he fights southpaw of late, but he fought orthodox a lot before that. So I'm assuming he can fight out of both stances comfortably. He's long. He has power in his hands. And he's got like good wins. Look at this win against Zafar Mohsen, who recently, I want to say he fought in PFL, or where was it? Yeah, this PFL, he won this fight, but I think he popped. And, that's a good win. And then, this Tamerlan guy is not the best. His record's kind of padded, but he's got a win there. This Ball fight, split decision, very, very close fight, honestly. I think it was a fence grab or something that got a point taken. I thought he won that fight, to be honest. I really did. And then if you look, Like Anton Moore, 9-2 guy, good fighter, majority decision, close fight. Alexander Vertical, who's 12-1 now, lost by decision. Look at the guys he's lost to, and he's got good wins, guys. And he's still, the thing about this guy is he's still only 27. So, like, honestly, if this guy didn't have the knee injury, I think this fight is pick 'em. I really do. Like, Aslander's get-up game and takedown defense is pretty fucking good. And he's going to be the bigger guy. And I don't know, man. I think he can knock out Shota because Shota gets hurt in almost every fight. And his defense is awful on the feet. And to me, Aslander looks like he has a pretty fucking damn good chin. He got cracked in a lot of these fights. And he takes punches really well. So I just don't understand why this line is where it's at. I mean, the only thing that makes sense, the knee injury and maybe like the hometown on Shota. Like Shota's a Czech guy. They love this guy in the Czech Republic. You know, he's still only 25. But, that's the other thing. I don't think this guy's 6 foot. They say 6 foot. I don't think this guy's 6 foot. Or maybe some of these opponents are bullshit on their height. But, like, he's not much bigger than Keta. And Keta, I think, is 5'9". This guy's not 6 foot. So, yeah, I mean, that's my breakdown on that fight. I do like Aslander here at this price. Maybe shot. Maybe, maybe his knee is fucked. But he said he's been training. He said, listen, in his interview, he said, don't look at my Instagram. I've came out of my Instagram. I dropped all my socials. I don't post as much because I'm concentrating on training and getting better. So, I don't know. Line's too big, man. The level of opposition with these guys and the wins are Aslan has better wins. It's plain and simple. And I think he's going to be the bigger guy in the cage. So, yeah, let's go to the next fight. Jonas mcgard, Igor Severino. Probably one of the best fights on the card. I mean, Igor Severino, we know him from Dana White's Contender Series. He bit Lima there. I don't even know why he did that. Fight seemed like it was turning in his favor. But he bit him. He was winning round 1 prior to getting hurt with the step and elbow. And like, yeah, he has a win against the Silva guy. I don't think it's like very, very impressive. I don't think the Silva guy, this Manel guy is a fraud. Davey Sosa is, I don't think this guy is any good, to be honest. Yeah, this guy's not any good. So, like, his wins are kind of like whatever. He doesn't have like really good wins here on his record. But like he was impressive in the Lima fight. And the other thing that's impressive with him is he's very young. 21 years old. Super, super young. Super green. Explosive striking. Has a lot of power. He does go for takedowns as well. But I think here's the issue for him here. He's fighting at 35 for the first time. And he's fighting a guy in mcgard who's strong, man. This guy's look at the experience level on this guy. 23 fights. Way more experience. Faced a way better level of opposition. I mean, the loss to Lima, right? 5-round, absolute back and forth war. Yeah, Lima won easily, but there was points in that fight where Lima was in mcgard had his back. He was in trouble in some points of that fight and reversed the position. But listen, Lima is a natural 35er who's been fighting even at 45, right? So he's a bigger guy, a stronger guy than Severino is. Then you look at the Cartwright and Hill fight, and he's 30-27, both of these guys, who are hard. They're very hard to 30-27. Josh Hill, yes, he's older, but hardly anybody's 30-27, that guy. And mcgard did it, and mcgard, he's a good fighter, man. Gustavo Lopez, former UFC guy, he KO'd him in round 2. Just has good wins. This France Malambo fight, obviously it's not the best look, but France is not a bad fighter. And, he happened to beat him there. But, man, the experience edge, the size edge, I do think that mcgard's probably the better grappler as well. He's going to be stronger, in my opinion. And he's going to get on top of Lima. Lima's fighting for the first time at 35. I don't know how to think of this. You're fighting a very good grappler who also has power on the feet, mcgard. Can take a hell of a punch. It's going to be tough for Lima, honestly. I favor mcgard here. I gave it out at like pick'em, minus 115 each. The line moved against me. mcgard went to dog, and now the line has steamed up. Minus 150, minus 146. Bet 365 has mcgard at minus 135. I think he should be the favorite, man. I think he's way more experienced, weight class up. Yeah, I just think he's the better grappler, to be honest. Moy says mcgard all day. I like mcgard, man. I really do. I think the guy is a very good fighter overall, like really, really good fighter. I do think Severino's a very good fighter as well, but he's green. He makes mistakes. You could see, like, he even bit somebody during the fight. How much more of a mistake can you make? Like, the guy panics, right? And he's a little bit too crazy and not self-aware in the fight, if that makes sense. Like, he goes for the kill and leaves himself open to get countered, stuff like that. So I think mcgard is a much cleaner fighter right now in their career, and he's got the way more experience in this fight. So give me Jonas mcgard, pick him. Now at minus one, what is it? 30. I would still play 35, minus 135, smaller bet, but yeah, I just think like he's better overall right now, man. Huge step up for Severino here. Next one, Radovan Usort versus Daniel Schwin. And you guys will be surprised probably with my breakdown here, because I do think Daniel Schwin has value. And he's plus 350. What is he on? Oh, plus 300 now on Bet Online, but plus 350 on Bet 365. And he might be coming in here as a setup for Usort. And Schwin is, from Germany. He took this fight on like 2 weeks' notice. But he trains with the Oktagon veteran. What the hell is his name? I can't even remember the guy's name now. Jungwirth from Germany. He trains with Jungwirth, Christian Jungwirth, and the guy has pretty good striking, honestly. His striking is not bad. He's got good boxing, has very good power in his hands. And, he's fighting a guy in Radovan who is a kill or be kill type of fighter, dude. First of all, Radovan's undersized for 85. He should not be an 85. Second of all, I think Radovan is off all the sauce. If you look at him a couple of fights ago, he was on all the sauce. But now he looks like he's completely off of it. I'm going to go back and show you something with this guy. This guy's been fighting for a long time, right? Since 2014 against Vittori, where he lost. But all these wins are against bums, right? He finished all these. They're absolute bums. Then he fights Kristofich, gets hurt in that fight. Gas is very, very bad in that fight, and gets finished in round 3. Gets a first-round knockout against another bum. Then gets finished in round 2, where he gassed again against Kurtz, who's a good fighter, right? Then he finishes this Kordonov guy in round 1. Magnor, who's absolutely the biggest, chinniest guy on Oktagon. Magnor hurts him so fucking bad in round 1 with the right hand. It was embarrassing to see. And then they get into a swinging contest, and he kills him, right? Magnor is so chinny. But then he gets, honestly, dominated by this Melvin guy. Even in the striking, which wasn't the best look against this Melvin guy. Then this Primera fight, he was getting taken down, rinsed, somehow lands I don't know if it was an elbow or what the fuck that was, that opened up. I think it was an illegal strike, actually. Now that I think about it, it was an illegal strike that opened up Primera, and somehow they gave it a doctor stoppage win for this Usort guy. So that was home cooking, in my opinion. And then was absolutely rinsed by a 47-year-old Peter Knies, who's a veteran in Oktagon, but 47 years old. If you see that fight and the way Peter's moving, bro, it looked like he was slow motion movement. I really didn't get how he didn't like kill Kines in round 1. I don't get it. Like, he was there to be killed. So slow, couldn't do shit. So basically, why I played Daniel is like, first of all, he's a true middleweight. This guy's not. Radovan is a welterweight. Second of all, it's such a volatile fight that I'm gonna take plus 350 in a volatile fight. If you're gonna give me plus 350 against a guy like Radovan, who's a kill or be killed type of fighter, then I'm gonna take Daniel Schwin. Yeah, Daniel Schwin doesn't have any good wins. I agree. He's not, he can get hurt. But if you see against these two guys, it was both ground and pound stoppages. Like, guys are taking him down because he's a good striker and he has power on the feet, and then they're pounding him out. But I also saw where he can shoot takedowns. Against this Uslan's guy, he shot. It was a pretty good shot. And Uslan's just stuffed it and got on top and pounded him out. So I just feel like this fight, and it's too volatile for this guy to be minus 500. It just is. And Radovan gets hurt in almost every single fight. This is just how he fights. So Magnor's gym's at the shopping mall where I live. Yeah, man. Magnor's terrible. He's got no fucking chin. And he hurt Radovan pretty damn bad. I don't know, man. I think taking a shot on Schwin is worth it. Yeah, he can get killed. Don't get me wrong. Radovan has a lot of power. But you're taking a 350 in a very, very volatile fight, plus 350. I don't mind it. I don't mind sprinkling that dog for like half a unit or something. Next one, it is Agi Sardari versus a late replacement, Agnian Dimit. I like this Dimit guy, man. I looked at his tape and I was pretty impressed with him, honestly. I think he's a pretty good fighter. He mixes the striking with the grappling. He's, not bad anywhere. He's got decent wins in his career. He's fought good level of opposition. Emir fight, got finished. No shame in that in round 3. The guy seems pretty solid to me, honestly. This Anwar bin Said fight, I think he won that fight. I forgot if he got a point taken or what the deal was. But bin Said is not a bad fighter. And now he faces a guy in Sardari. Yeah, he's, it's a good overall fighter as well. But this is kind of not the guy you want to lay juice on. He kind of fights close. When fights go to decision, he looked very good against Keta, I will say. He looked good in round 3. Made that fight really close. He beat Korkmaz. He should win this fight. Honestly, he should win. But I can't lay minus 320 with Sardari against a good grappler also. The other guy is a decent grappler. This fight was obviously late replacement. But maybe if this line balloons like crazy, I might take a shot on Dimit. But it's complete pass for me right now. Can't lay the juice with Sardari. He probably wins. But Dimit is a competent, decent fighter. It shouldn't be a huge favorite. So, yeah, I'm going to pass on that one. Lucia Pudilova versus Cecile Bolander. I don't think this fight is on anymore. Let me see real quick. I think there's a new opponent. Is there not a new opponent for Cecile? I thought there was. Yeah. Or no, actually, sorry. They switched it up. That is the fight now. I don't think there's odds on this, though. No odds on this, I believe. Is there any odds on this? Anybody know? I don't think there's any odds on this fight. Yeah, no odds on this fight. Yeah, I'm not really interested in this fight at all, to be honest. It's a rematch, I believe, right? It's a rematch between Cecile and yeah, where it was a split decision. So I don't know. I have nothing on this fight. I didn't really tape it because there was no line. So Cecile by uppercut KO. How did you get plus 185? What book has this fight? I don't see any book having this fight. Where do you see a line on this? Bet365, not my Bet365 doesn't have it for whatever reason. That's what I'm saying. Book to book, it's different. I don't have a line on this. Bet 365. Oh, Russian books have it. Yeah. I don't know. This is a weird fight, man. It's a weird fight. It's a rematch, 5-rounder. Late switch up. You know, there was a switch up between both ladies' opponents, and they made them fight. So I don't know. It's a pass for me. Carlos Vamola, Will Fleury. I don't want to go too much longer here, but Vamola looks kind of washed. You know, he's 39 years old, no type of striking at all, just winging, looking down on the floor, hammer fist, winging all these crazy different punches. He looks washed. He really does. Got absolutely murdered against Kristofich. Just kind of died. It looked like he died. Got a win against this Attila guy who's not very good at all. He's also 39 years old. So I don't know what to make of that. Like, it is whatever. Like, he got him down, and he looked awful in that fight, honestly, too. Like, the way he was trying to go for takedowns and looking down at the ground, and it don't look very good. Got a win over Langer, who's like whatever. Another bad win against Lucas Alcina. Lost to Kinsel here. Just doesn't have any good wins lately, and he's getting very old. And now he fights, you know, he's on all the sauce, don't get me wrong. But Vamola just has zero striking, and his wrestling just looks awful. He's like head down, trying to just like bulldoze you into the cage and then try to get you down. And he's going up against Will Fleury, who's 35, but this dude is on all the sauce, man. Like, every single steroid imaginable he's on. He's got pimples everywhere. He got popped for steroids against Jotko. Has like bad wins, to be honest. All his wins are pretty bad. The Jotko one he won, but got overturned because he popped. Scover, bad win. Langer, bad win. And now he fights Vamola, who, like, in theory, like, if he gets him down, he could look pretty good on top. Vamola, I know this line steamed like crazy. It went from Vamola favor to 225 on Fleury. And as bad as Vamola's looked, you got to be crazy to lay these prices with Fleury. 240, 250. I will never lay that line with Will Fleury. Like, his cardio suspect. Yes, he's on all the sauce, but I don't trust this guy at these prices. There's no freaking way. And then Oktagon does love Vamola. Like, this is 5 rounds. So, you know, Fleury might have a heart attack if this goes 5. Like, his cardio is not the best. Vamola, even though he's old and whatever, he's been 5 rounds multiple times. Like, let's see how many times he's been 5 rounds. I think this Alcina one is 3. Yeah, this one, Kinsel, is 5. No? Yep. He went 5 against Kinsel. He went 4 in this boxing fight, which whatever. He went 5 against Lahore. Obviously, that was 4 years ago, but that's still a good win. So he's been 5 rounds. Fleury, I'm not so sure he can go 5, man. I don't know. He looked death-gassed in this fight against Jotko in round 3. He looked, he got taken down by Jotko in that fight. Should he be favored? Yes, because he's on all the sauce. The other guy looks washed. But Vamola is dangerous if he can get on top of you, man. He's got good jiu-jitsu. He's got a shit ton of submissions, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, 20 sub wins, guys. So he's dangerous on top. Fleury, I don't think has ever been subbed, but you never know. With a guy like Vamola on top, you could get rinsed, you know, if you're a Fleury and you're laying minus 250. So I want nothing to do with this fight. Big pass for me. Ice Viking says Betway has Pudavola plus 200. Yeah, they're not fighting anymore. Yeah. 365. Okay, that's the right opponent again on 365. The other one is wrong. 237 of you in here. Appreciate you guys. Yeah. Let's move on here. Last fight, best fight of the night, probably. Ronald Paradiser versus Lucine Queta. 5 rounds, lightweight division, rematch. First one, I think Lucene won 4-1, to be honest. Maybe you can make a case for 3-2, but I thought it was 4-1. He's the guy that hurt Ronald multiple times in that fight. He had him almost out of there, honestly. Ronald's flopping to his back in round 5. But the guy is 27. He's long. He's a good striker. Really, really good striker. He can implement his takedowns as well. Got some solid wins here against Daniel Torres. I do think Torres might be actually washed, but still a good win. Attila Korkmaz, good fight back and forth. He possibly could have lost that fight, to be honest. If it wasn't probably an octagon, he probably loses that fight that he won by split. But, he's got some good wins here, good finishes. Very, very dangerous with his knees, flying knees. He loves the flying knee. In this fight against Keta, got a bunch of takedowns. Got Keta's back in round 1. Possibly could do that again in this fight. But man, Keta's so good, man. Very, very good. He's still only 26. He's only getting better, guys. This guy, huge power in his hands. Very, very good cardio. That's where I think he has a big edge in this fight. I think Ronald gets tired in 4-5, man. To me, he gets tired visibly. He's probably going to try to grapple again, which if he fails or Keta gets back up, he makes him work. He's going to get tired again. Legursky win pretty good. Legursky's a good fighter. He did get hurt, Legursky. I think he hurt his arm or something early in that fight, but still a good win. This is a good win against Bogdanovic, 16-2 guy who had a good win against Nafuka here. Out-grappled him, I believe. His only other loss was a round 5 loss to Will Brooks. And that no shame in that. So that's a really good win. Sardari didn't look great in that fight. Still won. Nico, good fighter in my opinion. Nico's a good long guy. Good fighter that got hurt later after that. But good win there. This one's his only loss was a foot injury, man. Dominated Jacob. Killed Bark in round 3. So he's got a bunch of good wins, a lot of finishes. Extremely explosive and powerful guy. I do think he's the rightful favorite, honestly, even in the rematch. I know a lot of people like Paradisar, and I like Paradisar. I just think the power advantage is all Keta here. Gonna be hard for him to hold him down. No 10-8, no 10-8. I think it was 49-46 on all 3 judges. You can make a case for 48-47, fine. But I just think the most of the finishing equity is on one side. In my opinion, it's Keta. It's got huge power, man. And Paradisar, got hurt multiple times in that fight, 2 or 3 times. I just think it's possible that he can get him out of there even this time. So, when you take away the fact that the later rounds I favor Lucene, power advantage Lucene, finishing equity I think Lucene. The one thing I can give Paradisar is he's long, he's a good technical striker, he's probably even getting better as well, but the same can be said for Keta. He's probably getting better. So when you take all of that together, late round, finishing equity, I feel like it's all on one side. Most of it is on one side. I think you can get to, this line's ballooned, though. It was 160, 170. It's 245, 240. I wouldn't play it at this price. Is he 100% safe to win? No. But I do think Keta wins. So, yeah. I think he's the rightful favorite. Not going to play this big line, but I do think he's, again, the favorite. So, quick recap. Marko Novic, Corella. I think Novic wins pretty comfortably. I think Jacob is being set up for a win here in the second fight. Again, the same thing for Peter. Gable, I think he should win. I took the dog and Ozan at plus 350. I like mcgard here at Pick'em is where I got him. I'm taking a shot on Daniel Schwin, plus 350 again. Big dog, volatile fight. Sardari, Dimit, don't have a side, anything, but if Dimit gets to 300, 350, I'm going to play him. Nothing on this Pudilova fight. Complete pass. Vamola, Fleury, complete pass for now. But if people keep steaming Fleury, man, and I get plus 400, I'm probably going to have to play Vamola. And then Lucien Keita Paradiser. I think Keita wins here. Lambo parlay. There's no props here, but let's see what I can muster here on a parlay. I would take Jacob Felski money line. Novak money line. This is all on Bet365, by the way. Peter Gable money line. So that's 3 favorites. And then go with Keita at minus 200. Gets you to plus 347. So you take 4 favorites. They're all kind of chalked, which it is what it is. But you get plus 347 on those 4 favorites. If you want to get crazy, you can add Aslan in there, and you get plus 1,600, 16 to 1 as a big dog. Yeah. And then if you add mcgard, you get 28 to 1. That's another way of doing it. I'm not playing those. I'm just giving you, maybe what you can play. The other one's safer, but yeah, that's it. 272 of you in here. Thank you very, very much. I didn't expect that many people. Appreciate you guys. If you have any questions real quick, shoot them out in chat. If not, my link for my Discord is down below. I've moved Odd Shopper Tales. I've moved my picks to there, and my Discord access is there as well. Appreciate you guys. Thank you, Dixon, man. Thanks for joining. Yeah, at least we get some money in here. See if we can hit some of these big dogs. It would be nice before the new year. Appreciate each and every one of you. Happy New Year if I don't talk to any of you. And yeah, one last thing, boys. Let's cash these tickets for Oktagon 65.